Diversity action plans to improve enrollment of participants from underrepresented populations in clinical studies. Guidance for industry. Section 6. Timelines for submitting diversity action plans.
Although a sponsor may discuss the diversity action plan with FDA as soon as practicable during medical product development, sponsors must submit diversity action plans for certain clinical studies for drugs and devices, according to the following statutorily required timelines.
For drugs, sponsors must submit the required diversity action plan to the relevant IND application as soon as practicable, but no later than the date on which the sponsor submits the protocol to FDA for the Phase 3 study or, as appropriate, other pivotal study.
Because FDA's review of and feedback on the diversity action plan is most efficient if it occurs in the context of discussions regarding the trial design, study population selection, and other aspects of the clinical study, FDA recommends submission of the diversity action plan when a sponsor is seeking feedback regarding the applicable clinical study for the drug, typically at the end phase 2 meeting.
For device clinical studies that require an IDE application to be submitted to FDA, the diversity action plan must be included in the IDE application. Sponsors of certain studies for which submission of an IDE application is not required must develop a diversity action plan to guide the development of any clinical study with respect to that device, and must submit the diversity action plan as part of the device's pre-market notification 510(k) PMA application or de novo classification request.
As discussed above, FDA expects there will be studies of certain devices for which FDA does not expect a diversity action plan. When FDA's feedback on specific questions is necessary to guide product development and/or preparation of a submission before submitting a diversity action plan in an IDE or a marketing submission, the sponsor should follow the Q submission process for obtaining feedback or requesting a meeting with FDA. See Section 7.
A sponsor may include questions regarding the diversity action plan in a Q submission, submitted to request feedback on questions related to design and conduct of a clinical study prior to its submission in an IDE application or prior to initiating a clinical study for which submission of an IDE application is not required.
Follow Diversa Trials on LinkedIn, YouTube, and your other favorite social media platforms. Also, be sure to check out our other FDA DAP draft guidance videos. Thanks for watching.